Hey guys, Stealth here, back with part 3 of the Pearl of the Orient campaign. Now, in only 2 turns I managed to destroy all of these tanks, and I didn't do that by physically destroying all of them, but by counter-attacking with a group of Royal Hong Kong Regiment. These guys didn't even have to fire a shot because these guys retreated. These tanks couldn't retreat anymore because they were already out of initiative points, so they were destroyed. Similarly, the Gurkhas regiment with support from my RAF strike squadron managed to take out this helicopter group along with these tanks. Now this leaves me in a very fortunate position, because right now I can reinforce these zones, making me able to go after Badan of Bawan, Pinggu in the north, and in the east we have Xiong. So I'm going to send whatever I have left north. I'm going to back up these forces. Same goes for this region. These tanks cannot fire after they move, unfortunately, but the close recon convoy can, and these gunships are going to be handy as well. Now what I need to be a bit careful about is this airborne regiment. They have been known to fly over the water, and that way they can still land in the Northern Territories. Fortunately, I still have some units left here, so I'm going to put a skeleton force here of light tanks. I have a logistics convoy with an FOB and a couple of stalwarts. I'm going to put those in the Northern District. My Harriers, I cannot rebase these yet because they don't have an airport in the north, so I'm just going to have to support these guys in case this airborne regiment shows up. In the northwest on the water we have Naval Sector Charlie with a Marine regiment. I'm going to intercept those with my Royal Hong Kong squadron. And right here we're being attacked not only by this naval attack squadron, but also by this anti-ship squadron. We're going to be facing off against them with Harriers. We have the illustrious escort group, and I'm going to call in some reinforcements in the form of the naval squadron. These have been stationed in Kowloon, and these are Tornado GR-1Bs, 2 missiles each, 140 points. If I call in all of these and have them fire at the same time, that is a 12 missile anti-ship missile strike, which should be able to take out quite some units. Now this gives me 10 points, which means I can call in the anti-tank battalion, but since most of their tanks are gone, I don't really need these. I also have the Anzac Expeditionary Force, and I can call in a light horse battalion, an armored regiment for 30 points, which is out of my league, or an Anzac artillery convoy. Now in this case I'm going with a other unit. I'm going with the light horse battalion because this gives me diggers. I can call these in into Yan and go after this militia regiment. Let's see, is that handy? I got diggers, assault engineers, and MRAs, and a couple tanks. They got some cheap tanks as well. A lot of infantry carriers. Yeah, actually this might work. The one thing I don't like is that they don't have any air support. Actually, I'm going to do something else. I want to have them brought in, but in a different zone, because I want to keep these new territories locked down. Let's see, I can call them into Hong Kong or Sai Kung, both of which aren't very fortunate. Now I'm just going into Yantian and capture this zone. What kind of map is this? Yeah, this is an urban map, which is fortunate. If we can capture Delta with our diggers, then they're not going to force us out anytime soon. Unfortunately, we don't have any air support. I can use these Sea Harriers as strafing runs. Actually, that might not be the best. That might not be the worst idea, because these Harriers have a good gun, those Aiden 30s. These units also come with AA missiles, so these can chase down those Faibaos, while these deal with the strafing runs on these units. And this should give me the capability of destroying a couple more vehicles on the ground. Okay, Xiong first. We need to defeat 500 points, and they have to defeat 500 points of ours. We got 1 CV, so this is going to be our crown jewel. We need to defend this thing at all costs. They have 4 of them, so they can capture and hold all of these zones if they want to. They got quite a bit of UBIs. Now these are militias. They won't stand a chance against my diggers, and I have some tanks supporting. These MRAs should be very good against these vehicles and these tanks, so yeah, this should be doable. Okay, hold this thing in the back here. And if they spawn a large force in Delta, then that's troubling, because I'm hoping to capture this zone. If I capture this zone, that would also be a good idea, but I don't want to spawn anything close to these borders just yet, except for tanks. These are horrible tanks, by the way. 1500 meter range, 2 armor, a 8 AP power gun. Yeah. Not exactly promising. I can use some assault engineers. I can use some diggers. Let's see. I want to capture Charlie, or at least try to drive them out of there. Actually, I'm going to call these in. These come in just standard APCs, no special guns or armaments on these. I'm going to have them a bit in the back. Same for the MRAs. 2 groups of 2 should do. I want some diggers defending this line, and call in the assault engineers when I need to. Call in these harriers for strafing runs. Let's see. Okay, they captured Charlie. That means I can offload these diggers into this zone. Okay, here we go. Strafe away. Now you see they're stunned. Took out 2 vehicles by the looks of it. I'm gonna call out some more of these tanks. They're only 10 apiece, so they're even cheaper than my infantry. These are still strafing. Took out most of their forces on that flank, it seems. Offload these and have my diggers go in manually. Now, so far so good, because they haven't brought in any of their tanks. And that would really be an issue. They're taking fire. Call these out a bit. Okay, they got quite a bit of infantry. Call out some more Sea Harriers. Do some more strafing runs, if only to panic them. There you go. These diggers can take some backup from these units. Strafing runs. So far we haven't lost any unit yet, still at 499. Just a couple diggers here. I know that they've captured Charlie and Echo, but they're blinking. And let's see which they cannot bring any reinforcements in. I can, but they're at dead end. So all of these forces they have, that's it. There is no more forces. Cargoes. If I can capture those, I can repair my tanks. Now, these may be crappy tanks, but they did a hell of a job against all of those APCs. Move to repair these tanks. And time to start moving in here. I want you guys there, I want you guys there. Diggers, support. Sea Harrier, get out. So, thank you very much for these cargo trucks. Appreciate it. No fuel. They got plenty of ammo, so I'm just going to give these guys spare parts. There's something else here. Vehicles. This group is going here to Echo to deal with them. I still got this group here. Move those in as well. Oh dear, now the tanks start to show up. Yeah, that's something else. Do a strafing run on them. Go on. These diggers are completely out of weapons, as in they don't have any laws left. These guys do. And I'm gonna use these to defend against these tanks. Took out one, and that's the game. Now they cannot retreat, so they've been destroyed. One more zone for me. And it's very, very difficult for them to take this zone back. So that's another good victory. Now let's focus on Naval Sector Lima. What we have here is a large group of muskets. These are very dangerous. They have 4 missiles each, so we can be facing 80 anti-ship missiles at a time. To make sure that don't happen, I'm going to use this Naval Sector India as my main staging area. I want to hide out behind these islands, force these units to come through this lane or around these islands where I have a good line of sight on them. Group up a couple of Oliver Hazard Parries. These have medium sea whiz, and use these things to defend against the muskets while my tornadoes go hunting for lodas. Okay, relocate my ship. I don't really like Type 21s. They do have a decent HE power, but their sea whiz is bad. And that is definitely what I need. So I want to call in an Oliver Hazard Parry and delete this Type 21. I want to have these guys turn around in a bit. I want to have 1 helicopter for scouting, and I want to have as many of these aircraft as I can. So turn around, turn around, turn around. Turn around, dude, not sail backwards. Thank you. Hold. 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 Where is your sea whiz battery located? On the back, it seems. So you need to turn a bit more. Okay, call in another ship or anti-ship plane. I know there's a looter here. I want to call out my last tornado in a bit and then go after this looter. I know that there's a couple of more ships coming in from here.
On my way to coordinates, out.
$137, 145, that should do. Actually, I'm going after these ships first, because they're much more of a threat. These are muskets, by the size of them. So yeah, I want to try and take out as many of those as I can before they start to become a threat. Took out 2 of them. And these guys, yeah, they're not going to hit. As you can see, quite the attack wave here. There's going to be a lot to chew through for Oliver Hazard Parries. Disable harpoons, because they don't fire too quickly.
Brace yourself, we're flying in.
Right now it's just basically trying to spam aircraft and trying to get as many of these Oliver Hazard parries together and have them share their anti-missile defense. These looters are sailing nicely close, which means it should be easy for my planes to take them out. Maybe I even hit both of them.
I need that tail rotor checked.
These are Shantaus. I'm not worried about these at all. They're just rivercraft. They don't have any anti-ship missile. They got a recoilless gun, but they need to close to within 1 or 2 kilometers. They're not effective. More Shantaus. This is an actual musket, I think. No, more Shantaus.
The sky is ours.
Go for this looter.
Target in sight. Adjusting aim.
Missiles away. Evacing. Took out one looter. Here you go. There's the anti-ship missiles. But having 4 of these ships together really helps to defend against those oncoming waves. They're firing everything they got. New large wave took out one parry, unfortunately. But now it seems that we've taken out the majority of their... Sorry, they seem to have fired the majority of their missiles. Which means that the defense should be a little easier. Because it's just going to be muskets now. Bring in another parry. Shantaus, 4 of these. Send my planes in a large fly-around pattern, but they are taking fire from these Shantaus, which is unfortunate. Try to get as much fire on these looters as I can. These are the actual command ships. Didn't take it out, but I heavily wounded the ship. I'm gonna move up with 4 of these to try and take out these Shantaus because they're really starting to piss me off. They have a good anti-plane weapon on them, in the sense of machine guns, dual type 61s. And those are giving me all sorts of trouble. This thing's taking water, so use these 3 to go after these ships. Call in a couple of Pegasus. Took out a musket there. Took out a Luda. Took out 2 more muskets. Another Pegasus. These Pegasus ships are really, really very good. They're very fast, 38 knots, which is probably some of the fastest ships in the game. They have a decent gun on them, and they have 8 ship anti-ship missiles, 8 harpoons.
Why does it always have to be me?
Now, I do need to repair a couple of these guys because they've taken some damage. But I want to go hunting. I want to have a go at these shantaus.
Loud and clear.
As you can see, they're already taking aim at these looters out here, which is not really something I like them to do. Because this looter just shrugs it off.
Moving on target. Sky is ours. Where do you need
Called in all of my aircraft. They're going for this looter now. Which alone is never going to stand against that many missiles.
loud and clear? Out. Eyes on this hot. All ears.
Call in more Pegasus. And I want to see if I have any ships which are almost full health. Doesn't really seem like it. Every now and then one of these 5-bow anti-ship planes comes in. Not really worried about those. Now, the AI has very kindly given me the location of all of its command units. We know they're there, there, and there. And we know that there's Moskits here. Now, this is a problem, because Moskits against Pegasus are always going to win. So counter those. Took him out.
Completed. Ready to go.
Go after him. Rest of my ships, or my airplanes, go after these units.
Sky is ours.
And we got the game. Let's see. Took out 4 looters, 14 muskets, and a couple of shantaus. We lost 1 Perry, 1 helicopter, and 1 Pegasus. Again, a good day for the British. Okay, all of my units are out of moves, out of actions. I cannot do anything else. Let's end the turn. We have 2 ready to move helicopter regiments and as many marines. They're trying to flank here. Well, we already got that locked down. We got this naval sector Echo being taken over by this airborne regiment, which means that they're going to be landing on Lantau, New Territories, or another sector next. Up here we're engaging these marines. They're up against 6 looters and 16 muskets, which means it's basically the same battle as last time, except that we don't have those anti-ship planes this time. So let's use Pegasus for harpoons, and let's use Chamseries as defense. Types 21s are really bad ships in this game. They do have some strength, but their Exo set is bad. Their Seacat is not very good. The only good thing about the ship is the gun. We start out in this naval sector Echo. And what I want to do is form a defensive line of Chamseries. There. And have another backup Type 21. Have some Pegasus behind these ships. And an LCU to support. Now on all of these Pegasus I'm going to disable their harpoons, so I can manually fire these when the ships are all in range. Here we go. This wall of Chamseries should do well enough against these missiles. These are dedicated anti-ship missile ships. Or anti-ship missile ships. Bloody hell, what a word. Okay, we got 1 looted there. 2, 3, 4. These things have a range of 8.7 clicks, but I'm expecting a lot of muskets. So I want to first have those muskets come in. Then I'm going to strike at them. Although this loader might be isolated.
Okay, what's the deal?
Line up these ships. 2 by 2 should do.
Read, fire.
I'm going to turn off all of their weapons. And I can turn them on all at the same time. Aim for that loader. And send a wave of 8 anti-ship missiles towards it. This should also give me an idea of whether I'm facing muskets here. And that seems to be the case. Yeah, we got quite a bit of ships here.
Enemies because I will.
Firing another wave, see if any of those hit. I don't expect they will. Yeah, I got one musket and one loader. Okay, now your weapon's free for the other ones. This LCU is immediately supplying them as they fire. They lost line of sight, but those missiles are fire and forget, which is ideal in situations such as these. Let's call in another LCU because they're being drained very, very quickly. Okay, I'm just gonna let them come to me. Here we have another musket. Ah, now we got anti-ship missiles coming in. Gemseries are making short work of them, but we lost 2. We're firing back at these things. They lost another musket. Time to add another Gemserie to the mix. They're going for this looter by the looks of it. Though, yep, they got him. Took out 2 more muskets. And it seems they're trying to flank me here, which is clever. More anti-ship missiles coming in. Batteries are taking care of it.
Honored to serve under your command.
Okay, we got them coming in from behind this time. Lost 1 more Gemserie. But we just need to kill 215 points of units.
My pleasure, sir.
Come on, defend. Thank you. Gemseries also have a very good gun. These Bofors L60s have gotten me out of nasty situations in the past, and I expect them to continue to do so. Now, these muskets are just being destroyed one by one. 2 of these, and I got the game. There you go, thanks for that. Okay, I lost 3 Gemseries, but they got out a lot worse. 4 looters left and 2 muskets. Very nice. We're also being engaged here again. We still got our naval squadron. They got 6 looters and 16 muskets. So let's get this battle over with. Keep in mind, this is not the naval group we fought earlier. This is actually the Marine Regiment. Seems like we lost... Oh no, we didn't lose 1 aircraft. Okay, 1 scout, and here we go.
My staff and myself are ready, sir.
Actually, this might be a decent spacing on these ships. Let them turn just a little bit. turn a bit. And you turn as well. There you go.
Someone need a guardian angel?
Now let's go hunting for ships. Looters are most important. Muskets are just annoying mostly.
The sky is ours.
Weapons away. One loader out of play. And we know that there's a lot of muskets heading for us.
Someone need a guardian angel?
So we need to be able to defend against those. Start saving up for another parry.
My stat, myself.
Parries are decent ships. They got 30% ECM, which means that they have some chance to dodge those missiles. Medium sea whiz, so they got close-in weapon systems which are medium effective, as we've seen before. 24 knots, which is a good speed, and very good sea optics. They come with 16 harpoons. I'm going to disable these for now because I've seen that parries are very bad launch platforms, in the sense that they take a long time to fire both of their missiles. So what you're going to be seeing is a wave of 3 missiles from these ships, which is going to be very easily stopped by a group of muskets.
Let's fly.
I'm going to send out these planes 2 by 2 so they don't each fire their anti-ship missile at exactly the same target. I'm going to space this out a little. And because these things are so close together, they're usually taking some splash damage. As you see, this musket took quite a beating from the explosion of his buddy. Nice parry, disable their weapons. Here we go. This is getting worrying. This thing is probably getting hit. Yep, he got hit bad.
I'll be there soon.
Call in another parry to reinforce the line. Now you can see muskets are out of ammo. Again. Luda is not out of ammo yet. Oh dear, I hope they can take that out. If these tornadoes go after this musket, after this Luda, it's a bit harder to reach because all these muskets are in the way, and it just barely survived. Call in another Oliver as a parry. Now I'm going to enable all of these harpoons to see if I can get that lone Luda. Oh, not you, not you. As you can see, harpoons are underway. I doubt he's going to stop all of them, but they just miss. Which is surprising.
Myself already, sir. My pleasure. My pleasure.
And this is exactly the reason why I barely use Oliver Hazard parries for their anti-ship missiles, because they just don't fire fast enough. Yeah, they do carry a ton of them, but they just don't fire them fast enough.
The sky is ours. Redeploying there.
Running LCU in here to repair all these ships. Tornado's doing a bombing run. Got one. Only a couple of looters left now. And they're evacing over the worst possible route.
What's the plan?
Let's see, this parry is full health, this one's full health, this is almost full health, and full health. So I'm going to have this ship repair. And I want all of these to sail in a close formation.
I'll set up a new command.
Turn off their weapons so they can all fire their anti-ships at the same time.
I'm taking care of it, sir.
Unfortunately, some of these cannot fire by the island.
I'll be there soon.
This island's in the way, they don't have line of sight, so they're gonna engage this looter.
Anything you want.
So just sail them up. This should be a lot better. Fire.
The attack myself.
Harpoons are underway. Hit one, might have hit two. I just want to have these guys close in and finish this guy off with their main guns. Yep, took him out. And I can now use my planes to go after the last one. Didn't lose any ships this round, so it was a very good battle for me. Seem to be some muskets out here. They might still pack missiles, so I gotta be a bit careful. Good luck with that. Is him done? Yep, we got anti-ship missiles coming in. And we took out 3 looters for the 3 muskets for the price of 1. 2 looters left, 5 muskets, and I didn't lose any units. So, very, very nice. We have taken out quite a bit of units. We have quite a bit of territory on these guys. We have Yantian, we have some more income here on the side. So I'm going to stop the video here. Next turn we're going to defend in Shenzhen and in Yantian against another force of units. Shouldn't be too hard because we took out most of their tanks. And it seems like they're slowly sending in some reserve infantry. We got some more tanks here in the north. Not too many expensive units. Again, some airborne regiments, artillery convoy. Yeah, this should be easy. You want to see how this continues? Follow me into part 4. This was it for part 3. If you liked the video, please hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and have fun playing Red Dragon.